Hello everyone, this is Misha Houston, and I'm here tonight to review the mid-season finale for the haves and the have-nots. The episode is entitled, In Pursuit of Prey. This is the last episode of the season, and we won't get a new episode until a few months from now. And personally, I can't wait. Before I start to review this episode, I want to tell everyone that I have created a pre-game speculation video. I published this video a day before the episode came out, so I didn't know at the time what was going to happen in the episode. This is just my speculation. It's guesswork. And some of my theories about what would happen in the episode were right. And some of them were wrong. So I'm going to put a link in my description line. So please check that video out. Now, as for the episode itself, it was a very good episode. I truly enjoyed every second of it. I was engaged by it. And I enjoyed the progression of the episode. It was very well written. And I am looking forward to the next season when it comes out in a few months. The episode begins with David, Erica, and Warlock. Now, David and Erica are having sex in the bed, and Warlock is standing a few feet away with an angry look on his face. She tells David to leave because she tells him that she felt like the relationship was moving much too fast for her. She didn't expect to fall into bed with him, and this is not who she is in her heart. That she wanted to take it slower than this, and she just didn't expect to fall into bed with him so quickly. David, being the southern gentleman that he is, or wish that he was, says that it's okay, that I understand, and I'm going to put my clothes on, and I'm going to leave, and I'll wait for your call later on. She says that she will call him, and that he will wait for her to call. David leaves, and when David closes the door, here comes Warlock. He's been hiding in the closet the whole time. As the conversation goes on, you start to realize that it is true that Erica and Warlock are working together. She apparently hates Candace and curses her behind her back. She is happy that Candace's life is falling apart. Apparently, the idea for her to go to the bank and the foreclosure was Erica's idea, and she was working with Warlock on that idea. She wanted Candace to pretty much lose everything that she's gained. She hates her, and she's made it very clear in this episode that she is Candace's enemy. If not to her face, then behind her back, for sure. Warlock is very angry with Erica for having been in bed with another man, but she's telling him, this is my job. I'm working a con. I'm a con woman. I'm almost a prostitute. This is what I do, and you knew that when we started dating. So apparently they're lovers. Not only are they partners in crime, they're lovers as well. And he is very territorial over Erica. But I honestly don't understand, how could she be working with Warlock? This man murdered her sister for $700. For $700. He viciously murdered her sister, so how could she possibly and knowingly and voluntarily be in league with a man like this? This man is a monster. She should be running away from him, not inviting him into her bed. But I guess that's the way the story is written. She tries to call Candace to find out her exact location, but Candace doesn't answer her phone. Then Warlock gets a call on his cell phone saying that she is at the Fountain Drop Hotel. He leaves her there unharmed and tells her that I don't want to see you with this man ever again. But she reminds him that this is my job and David Harrington is worth millions of dollars. So you're just going to have to suck it up and put up with it for the sake of the money, because that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm working for a living. This is my job, and you're just going to have to accept it and move on. After Warlock receives his call, then he leaves the hotel room. We switch over to Candace and Charles. Now Candace is in bed, and she's looking pretty smug and pretty full of herself. She's has managed to sink her claws into the future president of the United States. He goes off on his self-righteousness, saying that I'm a good person. I'm the kind of person who worked for everything I had. I didn't have to lie or scheme or deceive anyone to be the kind of person that I am and get to the position in life that I am. And I'm proud of that. And she just claps her hands and says, well, that's a very good speech. But she's telling him that I know who you really are. You said it last night, that you're not the kind of man that wants power. You want power in public. You want the world to perceive you as a powerful man. But in private, you want to be dominated. You want to be domineered. You want to be the submissive in the bedroom. And I'm here to provide you with that. She's basically offering to be his girlfriend / dominatrix or whatever, you know, a person that can fulfill his desire, his secret desires for him. She's telling him that this isn't about blackmail. This is about us having fun together and you exploring your desires. She gives him back the videotape, not the videotape, but the tape recorder that has all of the entire conversation and the sex that had been recorded on there. And she tells him that this is not about blackmail. Once you're done, you being with your debates and your politicking and everything you need to do in the day, come back to this room. Be waiting for me in this room naked and drunk. Now, I mean, from the look and the actions on Charles' face, apparently he wants it. Apparently he wants Candace. He's telling her no, but his body language is saying something totally different. Candace says, I want you to strip for me. Can you strip for me right now? And she calls him over to the bed and he gives her a kiss. So apparently she's gotten everything that she's wanted. She doesn't want to blackmail him. She just wants him as a lover. And apparently she's achieved her goal. She's done it. I mean, Candace, I'm very proud of you. You have done exactly what you were supposed to do. And you've done that. So congratulations. Candace is very good at what she does. I mean, you can't fault her for that. The next scene is of Jeffrey and Melissa. Now, Jeffrey is sitting in a chair wrapped up in a blanket. Apparently, he's taken to the chair and doesn't want to sleep in the same bed with Melissa. Melissa is wide awake in her bed. Jeffrey is texting Anna. Now, I don't know exactly what the texts were saying, but I'm thinking that she was trying to figure out if Wyatt had indeed called. Anna wrote back saying that he hasn't yet, but she will keep him posted if he does manage to give her a call. Melissa takes the phone from Jeffrey and she sees a text from Justin. Justin is apologizing for his behavior in the other episode called Praying for Light. And he's trying to make it up to Jeffrey, but Jeffrey is unable to contact him or reach him or go be with him the way that Jeffrey wants to. Jeffrey reads the text, Melissa reads the messages and she sees that Jeffrey is, Justin is writing to Jeffrey saying that he's sorry. And she rightly guesses that that Justin and Jeffrey got into some arguments over Wyatt, which is true. She says that it must have been about there's this message here that I've read from Wyatt. I guess she thinks that that's the reason that they were arguing. And she was right about that. And then she goes and tells Jeffrey that she was once in a relationship with an abusive man. That he would abuse her and say horrible things to her 1 minute and then start apologizing over and over and over again until she forgave him. She says the best thing that you could do for yourself is to dump the man, because she doesn't believe that he'll ever change or ever get better. Well, we all know that Jeffrey is not going to dump Justin. It's never going to happen, at least not yet. It may happen eventually, but not until Veronica's court case. It would be really foolish and silly of him to get rid of Justin now, because Jeffrey wants Justin's wife to convict Veronica and send her away to prison forever. So I assure you, he may be thinking about dumping Justin, but I don't think it'll happen anytime soon. He still needs him. And plus, he says and does all the things that Wyatt refuses to do. I believe that his heart is still with Wyatt, but Justin sleeps with Jeffrey and says all the right things. Justin makes it clear that he truly wants Jeffrey. So I don't think that it'll be a breakup anytime soon. No way. The next scene we have is with Wyatt. Wyatt is in his bed and the people from the Calgary Rehab Center show up. It's a counselor named Anna. It's a lady named Joan from admissions, and it's a Dr. Jarvis. The doctor jumps right on in and takes his blood pressure and sees exactly what he's dealing with. He also asks him questions about how long have you been trying to get clean? Have you taken anything else? And so on and so forth. Then Joan, the lady from admissions, tells him that it's a $10,000 retainer fee for the doctor, and it's $1,000 a day so that a counselor can stay with you. This place is very expensive by the look of it, so it better be what Wyatt needs. That's too much money to be wasted, and this doesn't work. These people need to be on their game, because if it were me, I'd be angry. Too much money is being spent. The Dr. Jarvis tells him that he's going to give him a shot, and he's going to need for him to take a urine test. Now Anna tells Wyatt that asks Wyatt, do you know a man named Jeffrey Harrington? Wyatt says yes. And then she tells Wyatt that Jeffrey Harrington has been calling our facility on the hour, trying to see if you had called for help. So even though Jeffrey is not with him physically and can't live with him anymore, he's still, trying to look out for him from afar. So you can see that Jeffrey has not forgotten Wyatt, even though he's not living there, even though he's away from him. He's still trying to be there as best he can. So, cool. The next scene involves Hannah, Benny, and Mitch. Hannah wakes up Benny, who has been sleeping against the door, and she comes in and asks him, "Why are you leaning up against the door?" And Benny says, "I'm trying to block the door so Candace can't get out." He wakes up, lets Hannah in, and he realizes that Candace has escaped out of the window. She tells Benny that she went to see Warlock and that she also went to the police. She accuses Benny of murder. She's constantly asking him, "Did you kill him, Benny? Did you do this? What happened? Tell me what happened." Benny denies it completely. She's telling him no. He's telling her no, I have not done this. So please stop asking me. He tells her that he wants to go out and try to find Candace and track her down. And then he asks her, "Can I borrow your car?" And she tells him, "I'll give you my car if you tell me exactly what happened." But Benny isn't falling for that at all. And basically, I don't really blame him for not really being so forthright with her, because she's proven that she's nothing but a snitch and that she can't keep her mouth shut. I wouldn't tell her anything either if I was Benny. Benny calls Mitch. Benny calls Mitch and asks him, "Could you come over here? I'm trying to find Candace and I need a ride." Mitch tells him yes. Now we move back to Candace. She's still in her hotel room that Oscar paid for, and she picks up her phone and she looks at it and sees that she has 3 new messages. Jeffrey calls, telling her that Hannah gave her up to the police, and Hannah responds saying that she's not even surprised by it. She gets a call from Erica, who is trying to find out her location. She's trying to figure out where she is so she can hand her over to Warlock. But Candace doesn't know that. She ignores Erica's call, and then she goes and listens to Benny's call. Benny is saying, "I need to find you. Where are you? I'm looking for you. Where did you go?" Then she gets a call from Jim. Now, in the previous episode, it's clear that he's trying to entrap Candace so he can put Candace away in prison. He tries to flirt with her on the phone. She barely remembers him. He tries to flirt with her and tells her, "I want you to come over. I want another night with you." They talk about the fact that she managed to get millions of dollars off of him, and that she also got a sports car as well. She knows that this is nothing but a setup, and she tells him quickly, "I know you're trying to set me up, and I'm not coming anywhere near you. Do not call me again. Goodbye." Good job for you, Candace, because I wouldn't go anywhere near him either. I know a lot of people are angry with Candace for having conned him in the past, but in my opinion, Jim Cryer got everything that he deserved. I have no sympathy for Jim Cryer at all, and whatever he got, whatever happened to him, he deserved it. He set this whole mess into motion because he was cheating on his wife. So forget him. The next scene starts off with Mitch. He comes by the Fountain Drop Hotel, and Benny just says, let's just get out of here. And then Hannah stands in his way, trying to figure out what happened. And then she starts accusing Benny of murder. He tells her no, and then she starts accusing Mitch of murder. Did you kill him? Did you kill him? What happened? And then Mitch catches on and says, oh, so that is what the lime and the shovel was for. Hannah hears that, and she decides to slap Benny and plead with him to try to tell him, what have you done, Benny? What happened? Tell me what happened. She's angry. She's crying. She's hurt. She can't believe what she's hearing. Benny grabs her by the wrist and sits her down in a chair at the table and tells her, look, I'm leaving. I'm going to try to find Candace. You need to relax. You need to chill. And all the while, tears are streaming down her face, and she's still trying to figure out what exactly happened. He sits her down. She stays in her seat, and Benny leaves with Mitch. Now, outside, Benny and Mitch are talking to each other, and Benny is very angry with him for bringing up the shovel and the lime. Mitch tells Benny that you need to get yourself a lawyer. You're in this deep now. It ain't no point of trying to find Candace. Let her pop up whenever she pops up. It may be better if she stays hidden. The best thing you can do for yourself right now is to try and find a lawyer. Get a lawyer in here for yourself, okay? Because you are a part of this. The police may come after you. You need to lawyer up. He tells her that I do know. Benny tells Mitch that I do know a lawyer named Veronica Harrington, but I don't want to. But he doesn't really want to be bothered with this woman anymore. And I'm glad for him that he said that, because I really wouldn't want to be bothered with Veronica either. She's a mess from top to bottom. He says, Mitch tells him, you need to get over it. You need to go and talk to this woman. You need some legal advice. Mitch tells Benny that he loves him and that he's got his back with this. And he certainly did have Benny's back in this episode. I mean, he really proved it with actions instead of just words. Now, we move over to Jim and Kathryn. Now, Jim comes out of his study to find that the entire house has been cleared out. There is no rugs on the floor, no artwork, no furniture. Everything has been cleared out. In the living room, in the multiple rooms in the houses, in the kitchen, in the sunroom, everything has been cleared away. Everything is spick and span as if no one ever lived in that house at all. And then Kathryn comes down the stairs, and he's just standing there completely dumbfounded. He can't believe what has happened here. Kathryn comes down the stairs, and he asks her, what has happened here? Where is everything? And she tells him that I've moved everything out of here. I told you that I wanted you to get out of my house, but you refused to leave. So this is what I have to do. I will sell this house for $5,000, or I'll even give it away for free. I'm going to get you out of this house one way or the other. And by the way, Jim, I want a divorce. She comes down the stairs and she leaves him standing there in this big empty room. And he can't believe it, and neither can I. I thought it was a dream that he had. But apparently she just took everything out of the house. She just cleaned out everything. Nothing was left. Nothing but the walls. Not even the curtains were even hanging over the windows. Everything was off. And she managed to pull this off, completely, quietly. There was no noise to alert Jim. So when he walked out of his study, he was surprised that everything was gone. He didn't even hear anyone come in the house, let alone take all the furniture. I mean, that's Kathryn for you. She ain't messing around for sure. Jim calls David and tells him that everything out of the house is gone and that Kathryn wants a divorce. David can't believe it, but he tells David that yes, this is happening. There's no furniture here. I pretty much need to leave this house. So David tells him, just come on over to the Artesian Hotel and we can have drinks and we can toast to our mutual divorces, which is exactly what Jim does. So I guess it's gone for sure. Okay, we're back to Jeffrey. Jeffrey is looking out the window and he sees Mitch and Benny drive up the driveway. Melissa says, what's going on? And he tells Melissa, just go on back to bed, girl. Melissa takes a call from her mother and she leaves the room to take the call, and Jeffrey goes outside of his bedroom, I guess, to eavesdrop on what's going on downstairs. Veronica comes down the stairs with her nightgown and her lingerie, and she invites Benny in and she tells him that I want an apology. Benny sucks it up and says, I'm sorry, Veronica, even though I have no idea what he was apologizing for. Maybe you can explain it to me, because I certainly don't know. Benny tells her that a friend of his buried the body of Quincy Maxwell in his backyard, and he wants some legal advice. She proceeds to seduce him, saying that I can give you all the advice you need. I can get you off if you come over here and sleep with me. But Benny rebuffs her charms, calls her crazy, and leaves the house. And I'm so glad that Benny did that, because it would be such a huge step backwards for him to get in league with this woman. Benny goes back to the car and says, I can't deal with this woman. This woman's crazy. She wanted me to sleep with her for some legal advice. And then Mitch says, well, that's just a typical broad for you. Now, Veronica walks back up the stairs, telling Jeffrey that if plan A doesn't work, which is the faulty search warrant doesn't work to get him off, then we have plan B, because Benny just practically gave himself up and Candace up for the murder of Quincy Maxwell. Jeffrey tells her that my keys were found on the scene. How could I possibly get away with it now? And then she tells him, oh, it's nothing. It's just a minor detail. And orders him back into the room with Melissa. Jeffrey goes back into the room and he shouts out to Melissa, look, I'm not going to sleep in this chair anymore. I'm going to sleep in the bed. But you stay on your end of the bed and I will stay on my end of the bed. He climbs into bed and pulls his cover over him and tries to go to bed. A few seconds later, Melissa comes out and she's crying and she's laying there and she's telling him that my father has passed away. Jeff said, well, that's just too bad. I'm tired and I'm going to sleep, which was such an insensitive thing for Jeffrey to say. And then he realizes a few seconds later that the bed and his sheets are soaking wet. And he accuses her of urinating in the bed. Then he pulls back the covers and he realizes that Melissa has tried to commit suicide. She slit her wrist, and what the wet substance that he's sleeping on top of is blood. He's flipping out. He's saying, oh my God, what have you done? What have you done? Why have you done this? And that's where the scene ends. That poor girl, I'm not really surprised that she tried to kill herself, because I just could sense it. I could just feel that she was at the end of her rope. She said in the previous episode that death seems like a good solution to all of this. And apparently she has tried to take her own life by cutting her wrist. And it was such a sad and pitiful moment. I feel sorry for her. I really do. Now, the scene of the night. This is the big confrontation scene between Mitch, Benny, Hannah, Baby Q, and Warlock and his crew. Mitch comes in to saying that they couldn't find Candace. And Hannah says maybe it's best that she stays where she is. And then she tells Benny that I did try to secure a lawyer for you and for Candace. Candace already has a lawyer in Veronica Harrington, but now Benny has a lawyer as well. So that was probably one of the better things that she's done. At least she's trying to make assurances that maybe her son can get away with this, and that he can go on with his life and not have to go to prison. So that's a good move on Hannah's part, to try to find a lawyer for her kids. So she asked Benny once again, did you kill him? Did you kill him? And Mitch says, why don't you just tell her? Just tell her exactly what's going on. Benny finally tells her that, no, I didn't kill her. I didn't kill Quincy Maxwell. When I came into the house, the man was already dead. He admitted to Hannah that he buried the body in Candace's backyard, but did not take his life. And then Hannah tells him that while she was at the police station, that she learned that it was two people who killed a man and a woman. She tells Benny that, and then Benny tells her that it wasn't me who did it. It was Jeffrey who did it. Now she's surprised. She can't believe that Jeffrey Harrington killed anyone. But if you go back to the previous season in the episode, The Heart of a Man, Jeffrey stabbed Veronica directly in front of Hannah and Mrs. Cryer. So, how could she not believe that Jeffrey is capable of something like this, because he's already tried to kill his own mother? She thinks that Candace is lying. She thinks that Candace doesn't know Jeffrey at all. But come to find out that it is the truth. Benny is saying that it's the truth. Candace was telling the truth. It was Jeffrey who ended Quincy's life. Now, all of a sudden, Warlock and his crew knocked down the door, roaring into the room, saying, "Where is Candace? Where is Candace?" And then a huge fisticuff fight ensues. Hannah is screaming in the background for them to stop this, but Mitch holds her back. Benny and Warlock get into a fight. They're battling with fists, battling each other, fighting each other. Hannah picks up Quincy and runs into the bathroom and closes the door behind them. Mitch was amazing in this. He took on like 3 or 4 guys. He was really, really amazing in this. I'm very proud of him in this. He even goes so far as to pick up one of Warlock's people and throw him across the room. I mean, he was just a gorilla in this, and I loved it. It was amazing. Benny and Warlock are still fighting each other. And then once Warlock and his crew realize that you're not going to break down Benny and Mitch, Warlock proceeds to pull out his gun. Now, Benny saw it ahead of time and pulled Benny to him, pulled him to the floor, and pulled the mattress off of the bed to hide behind. Warlock shoots up the entire room, shooting at air. Wow. Benny and Benny and Benny and Mitch are hiding underneath the bed. They shoot and they shoot and they shoot up the place. Bullet holes everywhere. Bullets are definitely flying. And once Warlock and his people hear the police sirens, they run out of the room. Mitch moves the mattress, and Benny and Mitch come out of that situation unharmed. They had the mattress to hide behind, so it protected them from the bullets. Benny tries to go after him, but Mitch tells him to stop. Stop. It's over. It's done. Just stop. Benny calls out for Hannah. He's screaming, "Mama, Mama." She doesn't answer. She doesn't answer his calls. They walk over to the bathroom door, and the door itself is riddled with bullet holes. There's bullet holes everywhere, straight bullets everywhere. They open the door, and Hannah comes staggering out with tears running down her face, and there is baby Q in her arms with blood all over him. I believe that Quincy was shot, but I'm not quite sure if Hannah was shot as well. But Quincy is definitely shot. His eyes are closed. He's got blood all over him. He's been shot up. And I don't know if that poor child lived or died. I'm hurt. Even though I knew this was coming. I knew it was coming. I speculated it in my pregame video. I'm so hurt. I'm so heartbroken that baby was shot. It's such a terrible thing to happen to a child, to happen to anyone, especially a child so innocent and so sweet. He certainly didn't deserve that. That was the way the episode ended. It was a great episode. My personal MVP, most valuable person in this episode was Mitch. He was amazing. When he threw that man across the room, I was completely amazed by that. He was definitely the MVP of this episode. He had Benny's back. He told Benny that he loved him. He fought off Ward's boys all on his own, 2 or 3 or 4 guys, all by himself. He saw Warlock go for his gun and pulled the mattress off of the bed to save Benny's life. So he is definitely, my MVP of this episode. Well done, Mitch. That is pretty much the end of my review. The episode was wonderful. I was very pleased with it, and I can't wait for this to come back on the air in a few months. I'm very excited. I'm very pleased with this season. There were some slow moments, and they could have progressed the story a little bit more, but I was very satisfied with this season. Some of my favorite parts was when Kathryn went after Veronica. I enjoyed that. I enjoyed finally hearing the revelation that Erica is not on Candace's side. I enjoyed the fact that Wyatt finally decided to get some help for himself, and that Jeffrey wouldn't continue to enable him anymore. I thought it was a really good scene for Jeffrey. And I'm just pleased with it all around. I've enjoyed this season. I enjoyed it better than last season. Tyler Perry really did a good job with this, and I'm very pleased. Tune in to my channel next week, because next week I will be doing If Loving You Is Wrong. The episode will be entitled A Neighborhood in Crisis. Thank you very much for watching. This was my very first review. I hope I did a good job. Make sure you like and subscribe and comment, and come back next week for my next video. I'm very new at this, and I think I've done a pretty good job so far. Thank you to all of my subscribers. My subscribers total is growing every day, and I'm very pleased with that. Make sure you come back next week for my next video. Enjoy your life as I do, and thank you very much, and have a wonderful, wonderful day. Thank you.